Oh my God, I am live. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, world. My name is Maria Banga, and I am founder of the Association Hope for the Abused and the Battered. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm so many things, and I am an evangelist. And so I just put all of it and I just do what I have to do whenever and all of that, all to the glory of God. So this afternoon I want to do this quick video to remind us and remind care providers and medical personnel, right, to watch out for the mental health of their patients, whatever situation or condition brought someone to you, or whatever it is the person you're taking care of has as a physical condition. Think about their mental health too, because we cannot separate one from the other, especially the mental health, right? Someone might break their leg, or let me talk about my friend who had a surgery on her hand. She had a bike accident, an accident on a motorbike in the month of May, and she thought it was just something light, and they tried to take care of it, in a like other people do. You go to the massages and you put the local things there and all of that, do an x-ray, and they say no, it's not so bad and everything, and then they wrapped it up, and she was going like this. But after a while there was no sign of improvement, and so she went for further consultations in different places, and they said not only surgery. And yeah, she had that surgery on the 4th of June. And so I wasn't around the whole month of June. And so when I came back, she's my bosom friend from, so she's really like my sister. I went to see her, been to see her twice. Once I went for one night, and the last time I spent the weekend there, so I could actually be with her for 2 days and really, really observe and have a conversation with her. And it was in this second trip that she opened up to me about how depressed she's feeling. She's an interior decorator. She works a lot. She used to work a lot with her hands and all of that. And she's just wondering. She's not been able to work since that accident, right? And she just wondering what the future holds for her. And she just thinks that life has been so unfair to her. And she would rather not even have made it. Some kind of talk. And I'm like, no, you are here. And they didn't amputate it. And so we really had a long conversation. And I just thought about a kidney health awareness advocate who died a few days ago in the Cameroonian community abroad, and of course those of us who knew her back home had such a loss. And she and I actually connected online due to my fierce mental health advocacy back at the time. And yes, so she had a foundation and counseling and mental health. And there was a time I even had to go and do some work for them, volunteer and stuff. And then COVID hit and it was impossible and stuff like that. Yeah, and she used to tell me, sometimes you just don't want to see people. Sometimes you just don't want to talk to people. Sometimes you cannot help but think, why me? Sometimes you think life is unfair when you just want to start smiling and think that, oh, it's all done and dusted. Boom, something comes up and everything, and well, that's all mental health, right? The sadness and all of those things. um I have a few other friends who also have some health conditions, like hi Elvis, thanks for joining me, who have some health conditions like other health conditions, and you might think that those are physical health conditions, and yet mentally they have a lot of challenges too. Some talk about it, some don't talk about it, because there's this stigma. If you just start saying, I feel depressed, what are you talking about? Oh, I haven't slept for the past 3 days. Hey, oh, so you start talking to yourself, this kind of things. And sometimes you suffer stigma from people too, who will be like they'll run away from you or they'll not want to associate with you. For example, if you're a woman, you start saying, who is going to marry me if they hear that I have not only that condition, but that once in a while I lose my mind or I feel so sad and depressed. You are already prone to some kind of things like maybe postpartum depression. So no, so you don't talk about it, because if you talk about it, that's already a big negative sign on your forehead, invisible one. But once somebody asks you a question and you just answer in a certain kind of way, you are off. So you start being worried about it. If you're a man, you'll be like, which girl is going to talk to me? Which girl will want to go out with me? For example, if I have sickle cell and then when we are sitting there, pap, I have a crisis, are they not just going to run and leave me there and stuff like that? So it starts to play with your thought pattern, and before you realize it, well, your behavior is actually either affirming what you think about yourself, or you start, just rejecting people, and even people who really had every intention to, just come close and just be your friend, not out of pity, but you think, no, it's out of pity, that's why they're coming towards me. And all of that is reflective of a distress, mental health distress. So I just thought really about my friend, and I was like, we have to have these conversations more often. And sometimes people with lived experience are the best people to tell us what they feel. You must not have been diagnosed with a mental ill health like me, who was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. You must not have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia to say that you know what mental health challenges are all about. No. Back home in Africa, people only get diagnosed. Diagnosed what? People, we take care of ourselves, we manage it, or we don't talk about it, we struggle. And then before you know it, well, people have kicked the bucket, taken their lives, died by suicide, all of those things. So it's bizarre. So the best advocate, frankly speaking, is you yourself. I sit here, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder in 2014. And I had rheumatoid arthritis, like serious one, for 2 years when I could barely walk. I'm telling you, I suffered more from the mental health challenge and the frustration even during that period than from the arthritis themselves. And thank God I'm well today. I'm healed. No more rheumatoid arthritis. No more mental health challenges and all of those things. It's been a long journey, and yet I know that in that journey, the advocacy I did for myself and for many other people, it helped me a lot on my journey to recovery. And I'm still on that journey, because once in a while, though not so frequent, because now my spiritual life is also very, very, very on par. Sometimes I can feel sad or I can feel overwhelmed and all of those feelings. But once I identify them, I don't let them linger on for too long. I just take action. And you only know all of these things if you talk to people, if you do research, if you reach out for help. Sometimes people think, going to see a therapist, what's that? What's wrong with me? Am I mad? No, therapists are not only for mad people who are running on the street. I cannot even work with those people because they will not talk to me. So it will just be a monologue. And so what am I going to do? I cannot help them. It is instead for people who are recognizing some signs of distress. It could just be emotional wise, your relationship is taking a hit, or your performance at your job site, or stuff like that. Or even just you having some challenges with doing your day-to-day activities like taking a shower. You start being so lazy, brushing your teeth, you don't feel like even eating. Either you have lost appetite, or you have just too much appetite, insatiable. You watch your patterns, and then you see where there's a shift, no, you say something is coming up. And for some people, they will say first thing they'll do is I'll pray. I will do that. Some other people don't know how to just get into prayer mode non-stop. They need to talk to somebody, or they need to. And sometimes when you even just know those things, before even talking to somebody, you might even just, do some research instead of spending all that time on TikTok, just watching other people laugh. Go and check. What do I do if I cannot sleep for one day? Or what can I do to natural remedies for a good sleep pattern? Or all of those kind of things. There's a lot of information out there. So do not suffer in silence. As I said, I'm a therapist, and honestly, I've worked with a lot of people for free or for very, very affordable rates. And then my association, Hope for the Abuse and Hope for the Abuse and the Bad, that's the roll up behind me there. Yeah, we also work with people, especially when we have a project which receives some funding. We can afford to counsel people and all of that. And there are a lot of support groups available online. Most of them are free to join and all of that. Just don't stigmatize yourself. Don't suffer in silence. You might think it's just a physical illness. It's just the hand. It's just the leg. It's just that, what do you call it? It's just that, I don't know, how do you call it? It's just that just on a wheelchair. No, it's just the kidney. It's just the, no, it's much more than that. So please take care of yourself. You doctor, please ask questions. How do you feel instead of how are you? When you ask someone how do you feel, the person actually thinks that you really mean it. So they will tell you how they feel. They would hardly just say fine. But if you say how are you, people are just used to saying fine. But if you say how do you feel, the person will be like, feel? Okay, how do I feel? I don't feel so good. I feel so. And then once they tell you that, you can ask questions. I remember asking a friend 2 days ago. I just wrote to her on WhatsApp. It's been such a while. And I said, how do you feel? And she told me that she feels better today. And I was not able to ask her what happened the other days. And she was like, oh, she lost her son a month ago. He was assassinated. Can you imagine the devastation of that? But people might see you and think, oh no, it's okay, you're a strong woman, you overcome that. And you will just be there, Yet, imagine, you don't just overcome such a news like that. They assassinate your son, 30 years old. No, that can send somebody, So she needs to be around people, and people need to know that it's not just about coming and attending the funeral and bringing all of that food and making all of that parade and everything and then going. No. There's so much more. Someone needs to check on her often, maybe not even leave her to live alone for some time and all of those things. I have to just do this and, just check on her again and those kind of things. So we need to learn those languages. How do you feel is better than how are you? And then the people, if it's in a family, you're living with someone. Yes, they might have a visible physical condition. They might be disabled, or they might be challenged. And you think it's just that you just want to be pushing them around in a wheelchair. Just the fact that they're sitting in that chair already makes them feel helpless. And you can push and be using some kind of language, and then they just get hopeless and depressed and all of that. And they either shut down or they become violent. All of those things, and then you'll be like, are you the only one who is disabled? No, we cannot be using those kind of languages. So I'm just doing this video to kind of encourage us to think about it every now and then, especially with people who have these physical health conditions. It doesn't just stop at that. So let's just show some more compassion, have some more empathy. Don't wait to see somebody walking on the street naked to say that, that one has a mental illness. Even at that time, it will be worse. The stigma is terrible. No, please don't do that. So you, the person, you, the medical health professional, and you, the caregiver, family, friends, we all have a role to play. May the good Lord help us to really think about these things and to pray for guidance on how best to go about doing what we have to do, because when one person is hurt, to be honest, somehow everybody is affected, and at least the closest people to them and all of that. I have suffered a few losses due to mental health conditions, and I myself, I was a person with a lived experience, and I know how devastating it is to people around, and sometimes we still cannot talk about it, due to that same stigma. So the best thing is prevention, right? It's better than cure. Okay. Thank you so much, Elvis, for joining me. Have a wonderful afternoon. God bless us all.